Welcome to our next Wandering Walks of Wonder adventure. Today we're discovering the hidden gems and rich history of Russell, Kansas. Russell was first settled in the 1860s when the Kansas Pacific Railway was being constructed through the region. The town was officially founded in 1871 and named after Alexander Russell, a railroad official. The railroad played a crucial role in the town's growth by attracting settlers and facilitating trade not only in the city but in this region of Kansas. In the late 19th century, Russell became a significant hub for the cattle industry. It was located along the famous Texas cattle trails, which brought thousands of cattle through the town on their way to railheads in Kansas. This led to the establishment of cattle yards and related businesses in the area. As the cattle industry declined, agriculture became the primary economic driver in Kansas and the surrounding area. The fertile land was well suited for farming and various crops like wheat, corn, sorghum, and many more. Russell experienced steady growth through the late 19th century and early 20th century. It became a trading center for the agricultural products of the region. The town's infrastructure greatly expanded, including this beautiful downtown area, along with many schools, churches, and businesses. In 1923, the discovery of oil in Russell County brought an economic boom to the area. The oil industry attracted investment and created many job opportunities, leading to a period of prosperity for this town. Today, Russell maintains its agricultural roots while also diversifying its economy. This historic downtown area, as well as many recreational opportunities at nearby Wilson Lake, make Russell an important center for the surrounding region. One of the most well-known residents of Russell, Kansas was Senator Bob Dole. Bob Dole was born here in Russell in 1923. Dole was a politician and an attorney who represented the state of Kansas in the U.S. Senate from 1969 to 1996. He was the Republican leader of the Senate during the final 11 years of his tenure and served 3 non-consecutive years as Senate Majority Leader. Prior to his 27 years in the Senate, he served in the United States House of Representatives from 1961 to 1969. He was also the Republican presidential nominee in the 1996 election and the vice presidential nominee in the 1976 election. Dole was born and raised in Kansas, where he established his legal career after serving with distinction in the U.S. Army during World War II. Many of the buildings in downtown Russell were constructed in the late 1800s and early 1900s. A great example are these two buildings here we see to the left of us, those with the kind of little peaks there. They're actually two buildings. One of them is the First National Bank building, or the old First National Bank building, also called the Wadby building, as well as next door to it was the Wadby Pool Hall. These buildings were constructed around 1885, 1886 or so. Served as both a store, pool hall, and many other businesses throughout the 1800s and even up through today. Across the street from us is the historic Dream Theater. This movie theater was constructed in 1923 as the Main Street Theater. In 1935, it was renovated and renamed the Dream Theater with a seating capacity of about 590 people. In 1947, though, unfortunately, a fire destroyed the old movie house. 2 years later, the Dream Theater, with a seating capacity of about 425, was opened on the same site. For the next 51 years, the Dream Theater was just that, a majestic Art Deco single-screen movie theater that delighted local audiences. This movie continued to be in operation until about 2000. It's also a historic site because in 1973, the filming of Paper Moon, a movie starring Ryan and Tatum O'Neal, also occurred inside and in front of that theater. Constructed around 1940, the post office here, the U.S. Post Office in Russell, Kansas, is listed on the National Historic Register of Places. This is the Heim Oliver house. This house is a fine example of sand Fairport chalk limestone that was quarried in the Russell area. This building was constructed in 1879 by John George Nicholas Heim. He was a stonemason and a carpenter. It's not known when Heim immigrated to the United States. However, it's said that he was married to his Virginia-born Louisa, and he spoke no English and she spoke no German. They moved here from Illinois in 1878 and purchased a lot at that time. 2 years later, he built a house for he, Louisa, and their 7 children, and lived in that house until about 1882 when they moved to Topeka. Another historic building here along Kansas Avenue is what is now the Fossil Station Museum, but was once the sheriff's residence and county jail. This building was constructed in 1907 as the county jail and living quarters for the sheriff and his family. It was built of quarried limestone. The bedrooms were upstairs with one room that used to be a female holding room. That window still has bars on the windows. The main floor consisted of a kitchen, dining room, sitting room, and the sheriff's office. The main cell area, which consisted of 4 cells with a walkway around them, was at the back of the building. The sheriff's wife would prepare meals for any detainees in the area and bring them to the prisoners. Just outside the main cells were 2 solitary confinement cells with a short hallway that led to an outside door. Russell County was created in 1867, and Russell was selected as the county seat in 1872 when the county was eventually organized. The first courthouse was a two-story frame structure built here at the corner of 7th and Main Street in 1874 and was known as Waterman Hall. This second and present courthouse was constructed in 1902 and completed in 1904.
Today, the area job openings page on KRSL.com.